What's up, guys? Today, not only am I disgustingly color coordinated, but I'm going to give you some tips on how to learn how to skate handrails. With anything in skateboarding, I can give you the best advice in the world, but it's still going to take you putting in some hard work to really get the hang of some things. And with handrails, keep in mind that it's very intimidating sometimes, so it might be a mental game just as much as it is a physical one. With that said, let's learn how to skate handrails. When I started skateboarding, it was hands down my top priority to get good enough where I could skate down a handrail. It's definitely a milestone as you're growing as a skateboarder, and once you land that big rail that you're afraid of, it's such a rush that not many other areas in skateboarding can give you that feeling. But one thing you have to remember about skateboarding on handrails is that they are one of the most dangerous objects you can skate on. So if you're going to use this video in hopes of learning handrails, just make sure you are cautious and as safe as can be when trying them, because they can throw you on the ground. And of course, here's my friend eating a cheeseburger while ollieing an 8-stair. Before you even think about trying a handrail, you have to make sure that you are comfortable and consistent on flat bars on the ground. If you cannot do basic tricks every time on a flat bar on the ground, then I would not even think about touching a handrail. Alright guys, ideally your rails at skate parks are going to be your training grounds for handrails. And when you're comfortable doing the flat rail tricks, you want to find a small down rail to skate park. This is a perfect example of one, and get very, very comfortable skating down this. And even if you think you got these down, I would just take a session and just do as many tricks down this thing as you can so you get really comfortable going down rails. When you're really comfortable with the smaller down rails, you're going to want to find the best park rail that accurately represents a street handrail. And this is the one we're going to be using at this park. If you notice, when I ollie and get out, it's about knee high. So this is where you typically ollie out onto a street handrail and get on. So this is what I'm going to be doing it on, and I'm going to cover board slides and 50-50s because those are the basics, and that's what we all typically learn on handrails first. Alright guys, we're starting with board slides, and I feel you if you're scared of this trick, because with a gap you can ollie out and kick your board away and jump down, and you're fine. With a board slide, you have to jump up here and slide down this thing, possibly put your gonads on the line. So I feel you if you're scared. If you are too nervous while trying this, if you're shaky and you're sweating and all that, don't try it. Go get comfortable with other rails. Try this with a good amount of confidence. Little fear is healthy because you got to respect this thing. You can get hurt on it, just as with anything in skateboarding. But make sure you have some confidence when rolling up to this, because you're going to have to just jump up there and slide down this whole thing. And in my mindset, I'll roll up to it a bunch of times, clear my mind, and say, all right, this one I'm going to jump up on this rail and slide down it. I'm going to get on it safely and slide down it. And that's the best mindset you can have to going down a rail. If you're really, really scared, I suggest going a little bit faster than normal, because if you go a little bit faster, you can get out here and you're in the safe zone. You hit the rail a little lower and you can jump off and go do your thing. But with board slides or handrails, you're going to have to get that confidence, and you're going to have to jump and slide down the thing. So just try your best. It's a big mental game, but it's just going to take some practice and warm up on small rails to really get the bigger rails down. Now when you're sliding down the rail, if you're having trouble with your dismount, that's probably because your slide is shaky. And to steady your slide, I would suggest trying to stand straighter on your board slide, okay? Don't just jump on the board and kind of stiff your legs. But as you slide, start to stand up a little more. That's going to center your weight and let you move out 90 to roll away. If it's a steep rail, you might just be, slamming into the ground, and it's going to take a couple tries of really boom and taking that impact. But with mellow rails like this, if you stand up, spot your landing, turn 90, it's going to happen. And, after a couple tries of it, it's going to be second nature just to jump on this thing, slide down, turn out, roll away. It's going to take a mind game. It's going to take that one try where you just jump up, slide, turn, land. But you guys got to try, and you got to keep going. With 50-50s, they're a little easier to try because you can bail on 50-50s. A board slide, you got to jump up and commit. 50-50s, when I was trying them, it helped me to ollie over the rail. And as I ollied over, when I passed by, I would throw my trucks down at 50-50 and then jump to the other side. Eventually, I got confident enough by doing this where I actually just jumped straight onto the rail and rode it out. Once you get the confidence up to just jump straight on top of that rail, you grind it out, and it's easy, especially with flat bars. With flat bars, you literally just stand there. You can stand there all day and grind the rail. But it's just taking that confidence to ollie straight onto that rail. If you're really scared of it, you can always try ollieing out, but if you ollie up on top of it, like right about here, like at the top of the rail, you're gonna have a lot more control on your board. So I suggest getting confident, just ollieing straight up in the air, landing down on it, grinding it out. And if you're scared, like I was, Falling over the rail, hitting your trucks and jumping off is a good strategy to kind of get your mindset. And I'm gonna get my trucks on that rail. Now when you're comfortable doing a park rail, there's really not much different when you go to a street rail. The only difference is that there's stairs and you might get kicked out, but it's just a mind game. That stuff is all in your head. The same tips that I gave you on this, like ollieing out for a board slide or jumping over the rail and hitting your trucks for a 50-50, those work on street rails too. So try to use those and just battle that demon inside your head. It's gonna be that one try where you're rolling up to it and you just straight up jump onto a board slide or jump onto that 50-50 and it's gonna click and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I just gotta do this. And you're gonna be doing handrails and then you'll be like, I have hit skateboarding puberty. I am graduated skateboarding high school, whatever you wanna think of it as. One thing I do want to say before I leave you guys is that do not start with a small rail. A 4-stair might sound easy, but it's not. You gotta ollie high and dink the rail and it's not good for anybody. Your grandma's gonna be mad that you did a 4-stair. So find a 6, 7, or 8 stair that you can, it's mellow, it's kind of low, that you can just jump up on and feel your slider grind, because that is gonna get you a lot better at handrails than trying dinky rails, I promise. But I hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get to them. If not, remember, try, subscribe, or die. My skateboard didn't subscribe, so I punched it. I'm sorry, skateboard, that was not funny. But I don't care, you don't gotta subscribe. This isn't all about doing, just learn how, goodbye. Oh, hello. I forgot to tell you guys, the hardest part of skating handrails in the real world, in the street world, is that it's impossible to find a real street handrail to skate. That's why we're skating this in this video, because in Cincinnati there are not a lot of handrails. But if you live in California, you have plenty to choose from, and you're lucky. You are a lucky person, you are a lucky skateboarder, you are a lucky person boarder. I'm done. You're lucky.